Jerry was digging deep in his pockets yesterday, and he said, "Hey, Trevon, you one of the best corners in the league. You think I'm about to let you walk out of here? We got teams like the Commanders that want you, teams like the Eagles that probably want you, teams like the Detroit Lions that probably want you, the Baltimore. I ain't gonna keep naming teams that probably want them, but still, hey. Marcus Peters went to the Saints, but it's about the Cowboys right now." Oh yeah, he did go to the Raiders. See what I'm saying? 20 minutes. But the question is, after Trevon Diggs signed this new deal, 5-year, $97 million, worth up to 104 in incentives, where would you rank him amongst the NFC corners? And I'm gonna start with you, Joe, because you got St. Juice.
Why do I gotta go first on the Cowboys topic? All right, man. Listen, we had a little slight conversation about Diggs in the chat, and I defended Diggs heavy in that chat. Surprisingly, one thing about the show, y'all, we're gonna have our hate against each other, but we're gonna speak real, all right? And I'm gonna speak real right now. So I think Trevon Diggs is a top 3 corner in the NFC. Top 3. At worst, I think he's arguably the best cornerback in NFC. I'm gonna give you your flowers right there, Tomo. So look, I got Jair Alexander in front of him and Marshawn Lattimore. That's it. I don't have Darius Slay above him, right? I don't have Darius Slay above him, right? But if for real though, I like for real, I would say he's top 2. I would put him above Marshawn Lattimore right now. All right. When I look at Trevon Diggs, you look at 2 years ago, I feel like Trevon Diggs is that cornerback that's getting better every single year. When you look at the other guys that we're comparing to, they're not getting better every single year. They already plateau at their peak, other than Jair Alexander that I'm comparing them to right now. People like Darius Slay, he already reached his peak, falling backwards. People like Marshawn Lattimore already reached his peak, falling backwards. When Trevon Diggs is actually going, I look at him 2 years ago, right? Got burned up plenty of times. Almost broke the record interceptions. Okay, he came back the next year, last year, cleaned up his issues from the year before. Now, he got burned up a few times, but so did Darius Slay. So did Marshawn Lattimore. All right? So did Jair Alexander. I saw Terry McLaurin put Jair Alexander in a poster in the NFL terms for a game-winning catch. Right? So, my thing is, I look at Trevon Diggs last year. He went against receivers like Jamar Chase, who only had 54 yards that game, against Scary Terry twice. And you know how I feel about Scary Terry. He still hasn't had a great game against Trevon Diggs guarding him, right? AJ Brown hit him with one double move, but what happened after that? What happened after that? Man, put a pacifier in my man mouth. Put him in the car seat. Say, here's the pacifier. All right? He ain't my man for real, but Justin Jefferson, we all know what happened with that. Now we know Darius Slay strapped him too, but Trevon Diggs has grown tremendously. He's the best cornerback in the NFC East. So I would say he's top 2. Jair Alexander the only one above him.
Well, based upon the 2 reactions, you brought up Darius Slay. Carl, I know that's your boy, so I'm gonna let you go next.
Oh, you dang on right. I got Darius Slay. Joe, get that out of here. And I don't think my man Darius Slay is falling back either. That's just disrespectful. The system is different. He's not traveling like he was in Detroit, but he's still balling. Yeah, he got burned up a couple times, but it happens to everybody. Even your boy got Trevon, not your boy, excuse me. I don't want to disrespect you. Trevon Diggs even got burned up a couple times. It happens to the best of them. I don't like when people be like, "Oh, he burned him up." Okay, if you're a good corner, you're gonna get beat. It happens. But I got Trevon top 5. I was going back and forth with myself between top 3, top 5, but I got Jair in front of him. I got Marshawn Lattimore in front of him. I got Darius Slay in front of him. And I got him right there with my boy J.C. Horn. And I know people are going to kill me for putting J.C. Horn in the top 5. And I don't care. Because, look, I got some notes. And
okay.
I got you. Hold on. Technical difficulty. I have my CTC notes up. My bad.
Boy put out the encyclopedia notes.
I'm ready.
I thought I had them. I thought I switched them. All right, so cool, right? JC last year, according to PFF, gave up a QB rating of 52.6, which was second in the NFL.
Okay.
JC played 13 games. The Panthers only allowed 211 passing yards per game, a QB rating of 89 out of 158, in the first 14 games. Like I said, JC played 13. JC, The first 3 games, the Panthers was ranked number 1 in defense his rookie year. Gets hurt, they drop. So as much as JC don't get the publicity, JC is a run supporting ball skills corner. Yeah, he only has 4 picks in his career. He's only played 16 games. He had 3 last year. 7 passes defended. And I know this is supposed to be about Trevon, but I know people are going to kill me for putting JC in my top 5. I'm just explaining why. But JC, man, he's going to get the publicity soon. He's a lockdown corner. As you saw when he got hurt, Mike Evans went crazy, and Tom Brady tricked a lot of people like, "Oh, Tom Brady's back! Look what he did against the Panthers." No, JC was just hurt. Calm down. So that's why I got JC in my top 5. And shout out South Carolina too. Might be a little South Carolina bias in there. I mean, it is what it is. I tell the truth, but I've seen what he can do. I know he's a lockdown guy, and he's real physical, and he can support the run. So he's an all-around corner. Some honorable mentions though I was thinking about Byron Murphy in Minnesota. Jalen Johnson in Chicago, another guy, Jalen Johnson, who doesn't get the publicity because he's in Chicago, but he's a real nice corner if you ever get a chance to watch him. I had Carlton Davis with the Bucks. I had Stephon Gilmore, now teammates with Trevon Diggs. Yeah. And I had one more. I'm trying to remember. Hold on, give me a second. I had Tariq Woolen. How can I forget my guy, Tariq Woolen? Who had a great rookie year. It's just you got to do it again. Again, Joe, what you said about Trevon is true. He went from a guy who he had a lot to learn. He played receiver for most of his life, went to Bama, made the transition to corner. So he still had a lot to learn. He's learning. He's getting better. He's fixing things. He had a great season last year, but as we do for most guys, got to do it again. He cleaned up the yardage. Yes, Tomo, he cleaned up the yardage, even though he led the league in picks. He cleaned that up, but he got to do it again because now he cleaned up the yardage. He's getting less ball. He had less picks. He had 3 picks, I believe. So, yeah, I just got to see it again. That's all. I still got him top 5, though. I don't think that's bad at all.
What number in that 5?
I didn't have it in order. Please don't get me to do that.
You threw JC out there, so they're going to be like, where you at in the 5?
Hey, look, man, they might be tired to me.
Hey, Dave, before you go, I'm gonna let y'all know. I threw my thing out there. I threw what I had to say about Trevon. Tom was your job to defend him. I ain't rebutting nothing. All right? I threw it out there, and that's it. Go ahead, Dave.
Hold on, Tate. This is just NFC only. Denzel Ward is an AFC corner. This is NFC only, Tate.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
He can't trade it. Okay.
I'm kind of sort of in agreement with Carl as far as him being top 5. Now my top 5 is just a little different. This is also me being biased as well. Because my top 5 has my guy Mooney Ward in it. I think that's somebody that you forgot to mention, Carl, because he had a great season last year.
I forget.
And he also has had good seasons with the Chiefs before he even came to us. But so it's not as if it was 1 year, which is a flash in the pan. He's been consistent since he's been in the league. But I definitely have Jaire Alexander number 1. I think he's, to me, the best cornerback in the NFC. I honestly have Darius Slay top 3 as well. So I would have I have Jaire Alexander, Marshawn Lattimore, Darius Slay, Trevon Diggs, and my boy Mooney Ward at 5. And then I'm okay if anyone puts like AJ Terrell ahead of him because that's another good corner in the NFC that some people don't mention all the time.
I would say that in mind.
But definitely, and then Stephon Gilmore, I mean, he's been a lockdown corner since he's been in the league. Since 2018, Gilmore has allowed a 72.4 passer rating in coverage, which is 3rd lowest in the NFL. So he's been one of the best corners in the league since 2018. Well, before then, but just including 2018. And then when it comes to Marshawn Lattimore, he was 2017 Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler, 19.2% force and completion rate since 2021. So that's really high. So he's doing everything he needs to do in the league. And so got to make sure that Marshawn Lattimore gets some respect. And we all know what Jaire Alexander did last year to Justin Jefferson. That boy locked him up as if he was nothing. Now Trevon did the same exact thing. So this is one of the reasons why Kev in the chat has said that Justin Jefferson is not an elite wide receiver because
we saw Lattimore though. We saw what JJ did to Lattimore.
Oh yeah. He cooked them.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying
Anyway,
is,
Go
but
ahead.
what I'm saying is, it's happened. It's happened. So that's my top five. But Trayvon Diggs is definitely, to me, one of the best corners in the league. And we know that 2 years ago that he allowed the most yards in the NFL, but he also had the most picks. And what he did this year to clean it up, he didn't have a lot of picks, but he also didn't allow a lot of yards. So, yeah, just do it again, and you'll be right there.
Hey, Blockworm.
Don't do that. Don't do that. He a
You
superstar
said
member. He a superstar member. You gotta let
my
him
man
rock out.
said the wrong bland 3.
Hey. That was a shot at Joe. But you guys said a lot of nice stuff about my guy, man. You know, and you talk about 2 years ago, because technically the new season has started now. He did give up the most yards, right, with the interceptions. But I want to thank one person, Terry McLaurin. Joe, I'm gonna say this: Trayvon's rookie year, Scary Terry was torching him. His rookie year, he was just flat out getting embarrassed at times. And I want to thank Terry McLaurin, because I think it was that second game where it was against the Commanders, and Terry was like, he called Terry out. They was talking trash, and Terry beat him and scored a touchdown. And ever since then, Trayvon has been a lockdown corner in the league. So again, shout out to the Commanders for doing that. I want to touch on another thing. You all talked about Jettas. That's 3 cornerbacks that we just named in this top 5 that all lockdown Jettas. You said Jair Alexander, Darius Slay, and Trayvon Diggs all did a number on Jettas. So, Kev, you might have an argument. But there's another wide receiver that's in this NFC conference that went up against 2 of these cornerbacks as well. A.J. Brown.
No, wait.
Jair Alexander and Trayvon Diggs both did a number on him as well.
St. Jude's.
Just want you, we got to add St. Jude's.
We're
We're talking top 5, though. We're talking top 5. I mean, I'll let you get that off. But if you're thinking about it, he has improved with his coverage skills. He does need to be more consistent as far as trying to bite on plays, because it's like, I understand you want to make the big play, but sometimes the ball just going to fall in your hands. Just let it fall in your hands. Like, stop biting on them double moves, because everybody knows you're going to jump. Top 5. Where I have him, he's definitely in the top 3. He's in the top 3. Because I thought about Lattimore, thought about Alexander, then it's like Diggs. I'm not slighting Slay. I'm not slighting him at all. So I would say if it comes down to it, him and Slay are like tied at 3. But because of youth, I'm going to get an edge to Trayvon because he has more years to go. Outside of that, my man earned this money. Next year, he got to show up, because I can look at the coverage percentage when he went up against 90% of these wide receivers you was talking about. And the only one that scored that got over 100 yards on him was Cooper Kupp. And that was because of that drag route that he took to the house. But everything outside of that has been Clamp City. So
Mike Evans scored on him though on a fade route. That was it.
That's a score, but I mean, over 100 yards, it's not happening. So look, hey man, shout out to you, Diggs. You did your thing. Nobody on here really disrespected you. I think everything everybody just said was commendable to you. It's not like you are the most lockdown corner amongst the names, because Jair does do his thing. Darius Slay does do his thing, unless it's a 3rd and 30. He need to communicate. That's all.
No,
just communicate
better. I know that's not at me, but bro, we're not letting you get that off.
I said he need to communicate better.
That's all. I don't care. I know that's a shot at the Eagles, but I'm not letting you get that off.
That's all. And Gilly, he just got in the NFC, so I can't really put him up there just yet. He just got here. I know what his resume says, but we talking about for the NFC, so I'm giving the longevity to the guys that was already over here. So that's all I got for that one. We good?
Let's get it.
All right, because we over here, man. We getting super chats. We ain't got none yet. Y'all need to hit us up. But when you outside, you know you got bank accounts, you got shoebox money, and then some people like to hand off that brown bag money.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.